Welcome, welcome, brothers and sisters. Interesting news today. U.S. SEC has opened the window for comments on 3 of the Ether ETFs. So at least they're communicating because they know they're going to be pressured and sued otherwise. So that's what they ended up doing with Bitcoin ETF. I assume they're anticipating what will come if they do nothing and there's no communication. So is that a good sign? Sure. Do I care about Ethereum? Yeah. Do I hold Ethereum? No. Sold it last bull run and don't plan on buying it. Do I think it could double? Yeah, absolutely. And if we get into a true parabolic bull run, and especially if it gets an ETF, but at least they're opening the lines of communication. So that's at least a start. Nothing crazy in regards to liquidations yesterday, right? Last 24 hours, 54 million only. So, that's why you probably didn't see us go down to break the 60K area, but, let's see what we got going in the last 12 hours, 21, so nothing too crazy. And fear and greed, which surprisingly, fairly greedy, aren't we, for having a sell-off like that? Was it a big enough sell-off to wipe out many of the bears and maybe the manipulation? Who knows what's going on? Don't know quite yet what's going on with the government transfer to Coinbase of the Silk Road BTC. Not sure what they're doing, if they did it over the counter to maybe BlackRock, but don't know yet. But the greed, I just don't know if we went low enough yet. Many rules of thought out there that we need to go lower for the Bitcoin halving. We'll just have to wait and see. Me personally, I want to go up. So top 100, as we see on the bubbles here, nothing too great. So accumulation time, some consolidation that we've seen. Let's see in the top right here. Nothing too crazy. AIOZ, doing a good job of holding the 80s. I like that. We'll see the AI narrative is back on if we get this thing back to $1, which it should be at. It hit 109, and that was quite wonderful, but did not stay up there long. We would have kept going, but things change on a dime. So news-wise, nothing really to talk about. I don't want to sit here and read the news anyways. You guys can do that, and there's a million other channels for that. But there's some interesting macro stuff going on. I do like Kathy Woods and her thoughts. She's way out of whack in my view that we're going to be $1 million in the next 10 years of Bitcoin. But hey, we all have opinions. I would like to see the volume up. 117 billion is just not enough. I have seen that trend down over the last couple of weeks, and that tells me a lot of things. And what it definitely tells me is retail is not in it. It's the smaller newbies, which I talk to a lot, and I love it. They're just getting in and they're making smart moves and they're asking smart questions to everyone. I love it. But we're not even close to having the run on like it should be. And we'll know that when Bitcoin blows through 80K. And I've already started getting some calls from friends asking me what to invest in, and maybe about 7 people, and that's the beginning of something, right? And those are some of the people calling me are smarter financially. It's just they kind of lean on me for crypto, and some of them listen the majority of them don't end up doing anything and haven't educated themselves over the whole bear run where they could bear market where they could have done a little homework and been involved and kind of not lean on someone for their opinion, because I hate to give financial advice. A lot of people texting me and I won't do that. I'm not, hey, I got $100,000 to do this. Should I do this? And I'm not doing that over text. And it's a discussion. It should never be like, oh yeah, this is going to go to that, or that's a great investment. No one knows, and I don't feel comfortable with that. I even have my awesome nephew text me yesterday about some of his friends at school wanting to invest in Tesla and a couple other things. And I hate Tesla, so my thought was there's better options out there, and it's called crypto. So, especially if you're young and you're in high school, why the hell would you want to invest in Tesla? Beyond me. EVs are a complete fabricated joke, and they're trying to pull the curtains over your eyes. If you say it for environment, if you look into the EV, what EV actually does, the battery of the lithium, the nickel, tearing up the Philippines, tearing up China and the poor community, and all over the place. They want to do it here in Nevada. The poor communities that are surrounding them are all poisoned and dying of cancer. But this is not the blockchain basin, so I won't go into there. But I do recommend you, and I sell into these facilities. Rivian and Tesla are two big customers of mine. But the truth of the matter is, don't think that you're doing any good for the environment by buying an EV. We certainly don't have the power grid in America to support every house to have one EV, let alone two. But the grid isn't there, and as we saw here in the Midwest during the freezing spell we had a little bit ago, 200 and some or 300 miles that they said they'll get out of the EV batteries ended up being about 100, and they had to wait 3 to 4 hours to fill up their or to recharge their batteries. So nothing is as it seems. Back to the market. So at least Bitcoin's trying to hold somewhat strong here, right? Dipped a little today, but nothing of significance. So, I mean, that is a good sign. I'm glad we didn't, I don't believe we saw 63. So, we got close. Still trending down a little bit, but if we could hold a little bit and get some momentum back, we have to see what happens. I believe the outflows from Grayscale were fairly light yesterday, and our inflows are fairly light as well. So I'm hoping we can pick that back up and get us to the next level. I just think, listening to Jerome Powell today, he was very optimistic in regards to lowering rates and where the economy is right now, but very dovish in the sense of that. And so, I mean, that should spark the market a little bit. All he's saying is we have to keep a close eye on things. If we are indeed going to lower rates, we have to be very careful, because if we lower them too early, we're right back into where we were in regards to inflation. If we leave them as they are, well, we have fears of economy slipping into a recession, also higher unemployment. So there's a balance. The truth of the matter is, inflation is always a driving factor, no matter what you do. But what caused inflation, and I'm not trying to be a know-it-all, but this is the truth in regards to America. I'll just speak for America. Number one is we've had low and 0% interest rates for years and years and years. I mean, I was paying 0% up to maybe 2% for car loans over the last, 15 years. I mean, I bought a 4Runner years and years ago, and I paid 0%. And so you can't do that. Also, home loans were, mortgages were extremely cheap, 3-4%. Not everyone should be in a home, right? There's a lot that goes into it, and we won't get into the subprime aspect. What really killed us was the printing. COVID was the pandemic, because our supply chain, this is coming from someone who works for a manufacturer. I run, the Midwest and the West. The supply chain stopped all over the world. And so what happens? Prices went up. You couldn't get anything, right? We all remember this. We a lot of times we have short-term memory loss, but we couldn't get anything. We stayed inside. We given stimulus money, so we printed more money in those 3 years than we ever printed in our existence. And in all the presidents, we ran up more debt in two presidents, Trump and Biden, than we did with every president before that combined. So you print $7 trillion or so or more, and you can't get things, and you just start buying online, and you try to buy cars, and you can't get cars. It's not because the stock was low because they were selling a ton. No, you couldn't get the cars, right? They couldn't get the chips from Taiwan, if we recall. So this is all, we couldn't get TVs, we couldn't get, so what did people do? They started building onto their houses. Good luck if you wanted to get landscaping done, or people started building, they thought they were going to be home forever, so they started putting patios in and, finishing their basements, all that type of stuff. That's where a ton of the money went. And then used cars, right? People were getting a fortune for their cars. I sold one of my cars and upgraded something, and I couldn't believe what I got for it. It was an old Honda Accord. Not that old, but it was probably worth about $6-7 grand. I got, I think, $12,000 for it. It should not have been $12,000 for it. It needed a ton of work. So it was supply chain, and it was the printing of money. And we've done a good job. All this the Fed can do is hurt demand. That's all they can do. By raising rates, they hurt demand. They hurt banks. They hurt companies from getting loans, from wanting to get loans because the interest rates are so high. So it curbs demand. And what they hope is, and then they want to raise unemployment a little bit and even itself out, and then boom. So that's all they can do. And so far it's coming down a little bit. Food, not that much, but other things have come down a little bit. So if we trend on this, we could see cuts. And people will say, oh, it's because it's an election year. They got to do like Powell's in Biden's pocket. But he wasn't even hired by Biden. So the Fed at this point right now, maybe back in the day, Bernanke and all that, you might not remember him, they were in the pocket of Clinton and stuff, but Powell's in no one's pocket, or else he would have lowered rates. Do you understand? We're very close to an election. If you recall, November, he would have lowered, if he was in anyone's pockets, he would have lowered rates a long time ago. And it would have been printing money and giving stimulus and everything like that. And, so I'm sick of hearing that by these stupid YouTubers. It's just not true, especially crypto YouTubers. It's just that they don't have a clue. He can only, when you lower rates, it takes a while for that to kick into the system. When you raise rates, it takes a good 6 months to 14 months for it to do anything. So don't listen to that when you hear it. No one's in anyone's pocket. I won't go into politics, but both our candidates suck, and RFK is my guy, but he's kind of ruined his chance with putting the VP that he chose on a ticket. She seems very smart and nice, but he should have gone to the middle a little more if he wanted the Republican vote. And I see all this, I see everywhere that it's hurting him. The people who are on the right that liked him a lot. I'm a middle of the road guy, just so you know, for sure. I have views on both sides, but I think he hurt himself with this. But still, we got to get him on a ticket. He's got my vote. I would recommend you look into him if you have an RFK Jr. I've been listening to him for 20 some years. He's an interesting lad. Maybe he should keep his mouth shut sometimes because people misconstrue what he says. But you should check him out. Just listen to a couple things he has to say. Let's see Velo here. Yeah, so that's dipped down a little bit. Holding strong in the 20s, though. This was one of the few things that was holding strong yesterday. And, I'm very tempted to buy it. If we dip lower on this, I may buy some, but I really don't want it to dip lower. Talking about Polyswarm, a lot of people have asked me about this. I like it. I don't know if I'm done buying this. I bought a ton below a penny, but it doesn't move fast. I think this is a good price where it's at if you believe in it. I do. It's got very low volume, not a huge circulating supply, and it's not on many people's radars, or else you would see the volume significantly higher. But I do love Polyswarm, have a ton of it. I did load up yesterday. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. And today, actually, on more Benki. just not really sure. I may have an issue, to be honest with you, with buying these. And the more I listen to people, we all have the same issue that we like to even numbers, right? If I got like 362,000, I try to work my way up to 70,000. Then next thing you know, I want to get to 90,000 and I can't stay at 90,000. Then I get to 94 and then I'm not happy until I even it out to like 400,000 or 100,000 or 50,000. That's kind of how I roll. So I've been buying more of this. Bought it all the way down to about right here. Nothing crazy. I mean, like $100 at a time, $50 at a time. I've slowly done that where I think I have 300,000 now. That's not a ton of money. It's not a ton of money, but it goes up to 10 cents. It's 30 grand, and I don't anticipate it going less than that. I mean, look at the volume. I believe it'll pick up. This is on Avalanche, and I believe if Avalanche gets, and they're doing great, Avalanche, if they get huge traction in bull run, I believe this will follow. My goal is to get 50 cents out of this. If I get 50 cents out of it, it's 150K. We'll have to see. I mean, that would be higher than all-time highs, but I think this bull run, it can do it. That's at least my opinion for me. I don't have that much in it to make, double or triple it. I want, I would like to get 150K out of this, if not more. That's minimum. And I won't, I'm up enough where I'm not selling it anytime soon. So, Flair is annoying just because I have a ton of XRP and I thought I was going to get, they said 1-for-1 for this, but you have to stake and everything. I don't stake. I don't use DEXs. I don't use bridges. I think they're great to do if you want to, but there's high risk involved and it's not my bag, nor will I teach it. I used to do it. I don't like it. I get near back up to $9. So nothing is moving crazily. I hate to see this below a penny like it dipped. It's making its way up a little bit, but, I hate to see things lose their momentum when we get shaken out like this. So Koval, been good. So and I'd like to see this, gotta, let's see where Ondo is. That was hanging around 80ish as well. I'm very tempted. Okay, it dipped down to 79. I'm very tempted to I want to spend 10K in something this week. So it's either going to be this Ondo or Velodrome, but I'm waiting. To see where this tweaks out this week. I have a ton of this that I've mentioned. I think Orca is a good buy in my view, and you know what I'm starting to like, and been looking into it for a while. A couple people have brought it to my attention as well. Probably again, I'm frustrated with. I really am. Who else is? To me, this is just a dud. It's amazing. Some of the projects that have most utility and most work on it don't go anywhere, and I will always blame it on on the circulating supply. How it's not $3 will tell you how it's going to be in this market. I just don't see it being incredible. I really don't. I'm not selling it. I want to make a profit on it. I'm up money on it, but it's nothing that is significant. And to me, it's unfortunate that it's not having its time yet. So hold on, I'm searching something here. Yeah, things are running a little bit slow. Oh, there we go. Having a brain freeze. It's been an extremely long couple of days. So, property. So, this is interesting. It's a real estate play. I think it's early. But I like the concept of it a lot. And you hear more and more about this type of play out there. It's a Ethereum token that I don't like, but I'm not really going to move it. Ethereum token that powers a Propia platform for international real estate transactions. The Pro token is used to pay for platform fees such as for modifying and creating title and deed contracts. It seeks to encapsulate ownership rights of real estate properties into NFTs, which is fine, I guess, thereby striving to facilitate the transfer of these rights in a trustless and efficient manner. Property aims to make real estate transactions easy and accessible as e-commerce by digitalizing the entire process. The token is used for transaction settlement and data access within the network. Eugene kind of, I've been looking at this for about a year and didn't think much of it, but, it's been brought up to me a couple times. Eugene's one of them, a good guy in my community who's very smart in the financial sector. And, I like it, but I like it a hell of a lot better down here. So keeping a close eye on it. I'd love to see a dip, it's up, 300% in a month. I don't love buying like that, but when are you going to buy, right? So I would have loved for this to get hit harder. It didn't. So, if you look at this, it tends to, peaked up. It looks like it's on its way. It's going to be steady, I think. And, so, if you look at the pattern here, it's trending up for sure. That spike there, but then it's trending up. So I like it. I like what they're doing. And what I don't know, I haven't looked deep enough into them and the team to see if it's an actually great company. I love the idea. You're hearing more and more about it. And who are you hearing it from? The big boys. Larry Fink, the banks out there, and we could fight against that. We're in this to make money, and you got to follow the money. You have to follow the money, right? Ondo is doing great because of that, of some of the partnerships, of some of the backing, and some of the rumors of the backing, right? You don't fully know what's going on. So that is something to think about. Property. I'm digging it. I wish I would have gotten in at 50 cents. Sometimes, you can't have everything. But I'm not out, meaning if we get a dip here, or if we start, rocking and rolling again, which I don't think will happen this week, I'll buy it on the way up, right? Because it's got 100 million circulated supply. That's nothing. It's got almost a $250 million market cap. If we get rocking and rolling and this starts getting to 50 million, we'll be at $3, $4, $5 in no time, and we'll be at $500 million to $1 billion market cap. I wish I had less of a market cap right now. So if the RWA narrative gets stronger and stronger, and that might be the main narrative of this bull run. If AI dies down a little bit, I hope it doesn't. So sometimes it's DeFi, and DeFi could have its chance to. This is one to look at. There's a lot of things I like about it. I just need to dig deeper into the true economics of the company and dig deeper. I just haven't. I've played with it for a year and didn't dig as deep as it. And it's not always that easy to really find anything deep into a lot of these projects, right? Some of their sites are horrible, and you just gotta kind of listen to other YouTubers, honestly, and then see what you can find out. And I spend hours and hours and hours digging into these companies, and sometimes you get what you want, sometimes you don't get what you want, but I invest anyways, and sometimes it pays off. So something to look at. So my thoughts, it's boring, kind of. We just got to look and wait and see what you want to do. Am I going to buy anything tonight? I don't know. I'm going to see what happens. I always will say I'm going to wait a day. I'm going to wait 2 days. I tend to buy a lot throughout the week at erratic times. Sometimes it's 3 a.m. Sometimes it's 7 a.m. Whenever it suits my fancy, I get in. I didn't think I was going to buy more Ben Key, and I did. I wanted to round it up. I wanted to keep going. So there's no big moves today. Some crappy stuff on the downside, right? I got turned on to this. I'm looking at this closely as well. I have to dig in deeper. This is becoming a big disappointment. I'm up a bunch of money. I'm wondering if I should sell. So if it keeps dipping, I'm either selling or buying more, because this should be following Bitcoin. Bitcoin isn't selling off that much right now, where this should be down 8%, and it's been, everything's a disappointment right now, but that's okay. It's been selling off, and I'm hoping it turns around, because I have a good amount of it, and it's already got a big market cap. So my out was probably around $10. I'm hoping it reaches there. I just don't know. Bonafide too, another one I kind of wish I would have bought, and that didn't take a beating like I would have liked it to. Here's Sparex. Got a bunch of this. Not the greatest project, but I have a ton of it. It's cheap, and I got it way below this. It's just something to look at. I think maybe you get 3, 4, 5 cents out of it. This run, it could do much better, but and this is one, a woulda, coulda, shoulda type of thing that I didn't pull the trigger on, and I don't know. I want to see it get down to. I want it to get hit a little bit. I don't need to get it down there, but I like to get it right around here, and I will go all in quite a bit, probably about, I don't know, 10 or 15K, because I think it'll run if Solana takes off a little more. It's an Ethereum name service for Solana, so I like it. So, what are you guys doing? Are you guys accumulating? Are you on the side? Do you have money ready? If not, what are you doing for that? I talked to some younger guys getting into crypto, and they're don't have a ton of money. Do what you got to do. Paper out, whatever the heck they do these days to get more money on the side, and only risk what you can lose, right? Because this market changes on a dime. It just changes quick. If you guys could that's great. If you choose to subscribe, that's a wonderful thing. Sharing is most important. If you could, let's grow this community. What do you need from me? What can I help you with? What do you want to hear more of? Right? I don't dive deep into the tech of things. There's too many other channels that do that and do a much better job than I'll ever do. I understand it, but explaining it, I'm more of a real world guy, not going to bore you with tech stuff. There's, you have Virtual Bacon and many other people that can delve into that. So, wish you all well. Have a good day. Let you know what you need from me. Keep an eye on Polyswarm. Keep an eye on Sparex in Koval. For small plays. Those are risky small plays. Keep an eye on Aerodrome. That's come back a little bit, right? Where will this go? We shall see. Would have loved it to hang at the $2 and find support, but remember this: there's no such thing as support and resistance in a sell-off or a rally. It just blows right through it, right? There is when things are trading in a rolling stock type of trade, meaning it bounces from here to there, here to there. That's just when it's a normal market. When it's not a normal market and it's a big sell-off, boom. Remember this: we don't panic sell, we don't panic buy. Not financial advice, but this is what I live by. I don't panic sell, I don't panic buy. Then you don't make bad moves. And also, don't trade crypto or buy crypto or sell crypto when you're drunk. Back in the past, I used to some cocktails, and I can't even tell you last bull market. I can't tell you the stuff I bought, and I would never have done it the next morning. Just kind of like, because it gets rid of your inhibitions, and you're like, what's 10K? What's 50K? And buying stuff, and boom, straight down. So be careful. Once again, let me know what I can do to help you, and I wish you a great day. Be good. Vegan Crypto out of here. Peace.